Hi, I'm Mega, and in this video I'll be covering how the fusion mechanic works in Shop Titans. Fusion is the ability to merge lower quality items into a higher quality one. This allows you to easily make items that are required for pre-craft, for example, or upgraded gear for your heroes. To begin fusing, you'll need two things: items of a lower quality than the one you wish to fuse, and some moonstones. For example, let's take a look at fusing the Squire Sword. If you wish to fuse a flawless quality one, for that amazing king bait, you'll need 5 superior quality Squire Swords in your inventory and 2 lesser Moonstones. Moonstones come in 3 different tiers. At tier 4 we have the lesser Moonstone, at tier 7 we have the superior Moonstone, and at tier 10 we have the greater Moonstone. Which tier of Moonstone you require depends on the tier of the item you're trying to fuse. Lower tier items, for example like the Squire Sword, will require lesser Moonstones, tier 10 items will require the greater Moonstone, and so on. Moonstones have multiple ways they can be obtained. You can obtain them as a quest reward, much like Moonstone drops. You can also find them in treasure chests, or grab bags purchased with guild coins. Finally, you can craft the Moonstones. If you want to craft Moonstones, you will need to purchase Mundra, the new premium worker added in this pack. They are very similar to runestones in terms of crafting. They require either herb or oils or jewels, although you can ascend the jewel requirement of the greater moonstone if you felt so inclined, and they do not have an ascension track. So if we just compare them now, it's literally the same, just a slightly different color. Once you have all of your materials gathered, it's time to fuse. To start, we click on the fusion button, which you can find just behind the crafting button here. When we click on it, it brings up the fusing menu. Now as you can see, it's very similar to the menu that you see when you click on a crafting item. However, because there are no blueprints for fused items, you can only see fusions for items you have a copy of in your inventory. So, for example, I can see a tier 1 Squire Sword here because we've crafted some Squire Swords. I can see katanas. If I go onto bows, I can see Raptorias and compound bows, but I can't see the level 1 bows. That's because I literally don't have any to hand. It's a bit weird, but you do get used to it. At the top of the screen, as you can see here, it says superior. That's the success chance of a fuse happening. So for superior, it's 100%, flawless 100%, epic 100%. Legendary is only 50% chance. If you do a legendary fusion and it fails, you lose all of the components involved. Like you lose all the moonstones you used and the 5 epic items you used to pay for that cost. So be willing to make sure you can live with it if it goes wrong. Once you have decided on the item that you're going to fuse, so in this case we're going to fuse on the Squire Sword, we tap on it and it brings up this menu. Now on here on the left and the right you can see, so it wants to turn 4 normal Squire Swords into 1 green sword. It also requires 1 runestone. If you've got the materials like I have here, we can click on that, we can queue up multiples, so I can queue up 6 for example, or however many crafting slots you've got you wish to commit to it, etc. So I'm going to queue 6 here, we'll hit start fusion. Get this nice little animation, that's the fusion vessel. So you see they're tapping away here. Now you can't actually rush fusions with energy because they don't use materials. If you want to rush a fusion, you've got to be prepared to fork over gems. Most cases, not worth it. I honestly wouldn't advise to. Once it's finished, so we go here, it goes like here already, just like you would with a crafting slot. You tap on it, we get this nice little animation. It says tap the vessel, but you can literally tap anywhere on the screen, much like all the other things. Here we go. There we go. 1 time superior Squire Sword. Aside from fusing items into higher quality versions, there is also Full Moon Fusion. These recipes allow you to fuse items usually found into your special tab into potentially much more useful items. So if we take a look, for example, you can turn repair kits into golden artifacts, you can turn lower tier moonstones into higher tier moonstones, you can turn treasure chests into materials from the respective areas. But there's also more than we can do than just that. We can turn our stamina drinks and repair kits into phoenix feathers. We can upgrade our bronze compasses into silver compasses. We can turn our treasure chest keys into treasure chests. Now if you look at some of these recipes, for example, take a look at the silver compass, you notice there's a number 5 with a green circle around its outer edge. What this is referring to is the tier and the quality of the item required to pay is the material cost. So if we click on silver compass, and I click on these little 2 arrows here, I can choose any tier 5 or higher item, as long as also superior quality or higher to be used as the material cost for fusing them. So we'll take Mundra's Tabard, we'll click Start Fusion. It works like normal fusion, it's impossible for these to fail, it would suck if they would. They do also take quite a while to fuse, but let's be fair, it's quite powerful items. So what's the catch? Well, as the name kinda gives away, these items can only actually be fused when there's a full moon in the real world. When that happens, an event indicator will pop up here on the left hand side, which we can tap on, indicating it's a full moon. If we click onto view info, it gives the event details. It mentions that during a full moon, Sundra and Munja become more powerful and gain access to special fusions. The event lasts for 24 hours from the time it starts. It starts at the same time other events do, that is at midnight UTC +0, which is whenever your piggy drops. That time zone is also what they're going to use to determine when there's actually a full moon visible or not. Think of it like another daily event, just rather than this one being at a random point during the month, you can figure it out in advance if you look at a lunar calendar. Alternatively, if you don't wish to wait for a full moon, or you're busy on a full moon, for example, you're a werewolf, purchasing Munja will allow you to fuse these recipes all the time instead of having to wait for a full moon. This is also why during a full moon Munja's effect changes to speed up the fusion instead, because otherwise it'd kind of like be doing nothing. And that's about it for Fusion. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave any feedback in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.